Good reason to vote for Mark Kirk. Now, one last reason to vote for Mark Kirk, and this is I stand downstate. Yes, he's a congressman from the North Shore up in the Chicago metropolitan area, but Mark Kirk was born in downstate Illinois. He was born in Champaign. He spent part of his time growing up living in Chatham. Now, that's where my kids grew up. So I think that's pretty good preparation for whatever life holds for you, being born in Champaign and spending time growing up in Chatham. So while he is from the northern part of the state, his roots are in downstate. He knows this state. He is someone that can represent us well in Washington, but we need your help. He can't win by himself. He's the best candidate for the U.S. Senate, I believe, that we've had for the Republican Party in my political lifetime. Not taking anything away from the other candidates, but I think he's the best. But he needs your help, and that's why we're here today. Not only to introduce Mark to you, if you haven't met him, but also to solicit your support. So come primary, we nominate him, and come November election, we elect him. And if we do that, we begin to put Illinois back on track and make this state a state that we're proud to talk about and talk about our political leaders. It's indeed my pleasure to introduce a person who has served his nation with distinction in the halls of Congress and in the military, our next U.S. Senator, Mark Kirk.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming here for the start of this campaign, and especially Governor Edgar, Leader Radogno, Leader Cross, Leader Pollard, everybody who is here. I grew up here in Illinois. My dad worked for Illinois Bell. He grew up in Sullivan. I was born in Champaign in a trailer park called Shadowwood, just north of the town. Illinois Bell transferred us all over the state, and so we lived in Harvey, in Downers Grove, in Chatham, and I went to college in Carlinville at Blackburn College. It is a great dream of mine to eventually represent this whole major industrialized state of Illinois, especially given the times that we live in and how we have seen the reputation of our state pulled down. Any of you been on the phone with a friend or relative from out of state and they kind of laughed at us because of the corruption and mismanagement? Want to do something about it? I think this campaign is going to give you the chance to restore some pride in the state of Illinois. I'm very proud, especially to be here at the VFW Hall, to see my wonderful, lovable guys and gals who wore the uniform of the United States. It is the honor of my life to serve in the United States Navy. I'm now in my 19th year, one of only 2 members of Congress still in uniform. For me, I remember one day over Kosovo when I saw some, I called out to the pilot captain, we have some weather over the target. It was my first mission. He said, "That's not weather, idiot, that's flak." I thought briefly for a second, I could get killed doing this. But then I thought, I am with the right team, right guys, right mission on behalf of the United States of America. In my career, I've served over Kosovo, over Iraq, was called up for Bosnia, for Haiti, and then in December broke through a barrier and became the first sitting member of Congress to deploy into an imminent danger area since 1942, when I joined our troops in Afghanistan. For me, it's a big deal thinking about those guys every single day, because the men and women that I worked with in Afghanistan are still there this morning. I came back to serve also in the Congress and have been working night and day to save a veterans hospital. When I was first elected, they told me it was going to close down. Right now, it is in the middle of a $100 million expansion. And it will no longer be named the North Chicago VA. It's named after one of our Illinois national heroes. It will be named the James A. Lovell Federal Healthcare Center after a graduate of the Naval Academy, commander of Apollo 13, Jim Lovell. You bet. Well, I'm very proud to be with my fellow veterans and the values that we stand for: honor, integrity, courage. By your ribbons and decorations, I can see some of you are combat veterans, and that's where it most counts. For someone you know, putting on the uniform, you put it all on the line. We think about that one American from World War I who put a note that he wrote in the trenches when he said, "I have made a personal decision to make the success of the United States my personal responsibility." It was the last note that he wrote, but one that really says it all when you put on the uniform. We think about all of the values that we stand for when we go into battle and the great ideals of our country. And sometimes when we look at the state of Illinois, we can be disappointed because we see that our state has fallen into great misrule of corruption and mismanagement, first by a corrupt Republican and then an even more corrupt Democrat. For us, the tragedies were then followed by the appointment of Roland Burris to try to represent us, 12 million citizens in the United States Senate. On the floor of the House of Representatives, I can report to you that our state right now is a laughingstock for corruption and misrule. But the coming election offers us a complete opportunity to change their course and set a high standard for the state of Illinois. Now, we are currently ruled by a very corrupt one-party state that is growing in tremendous arrogance and greed. And it threatens us by raising taxes at the county, state, and even federal level. It harms our future and would weaken the freedoms of our kids that they should inherit. So what do? Do we sit back and just hope others fix it for us? Or do we stand up and fix it for ourselves? For me, as difficult as a campaign across the state of Illinois would be, I choose to stand and fight for our country and for our state. Now, I am very honored to serve the United States in the Congress and in uniform, but I think I'm ready to do more. And so, to set Illinois on a course of reform and honest government, I will be a candidate for the United States Senate. Yeah. And to fight for lower taxes and for veterans' care, for a strong national defense, for our medical rights, but most importantly, for integrity in public office from the state of Illinois. Thank you. Now, as we start this campaign for the Senate, I bring a lifetime of public commitment, a commitment to the defense of the United States, first and foremost, a commitment to individual initiative and jobs and new opportunities for Americans, a belief in honest government and the rule of law against crooked politicians or drug gangs or terrorists that would destroy our way of life, a commitment to cutting the federal budget and stopping a runaway set of spending rules that threatens the value of the very wallet and dollars that are in it in your pocket right now. And my passion, my utmost commitment to defend your relationship with your doctor against any government plan to delay or deny care. So let's ask you a question. Are you tired of corruption in Illinois? Yes. Thank you. Then join our campaign. Worried about out-of-control spending and higher taxes?